Well, it turned out I didn't have to look very far. I went over on this corner over here and said, you know what's on top here? And it turns out we have a nice butternut. Very distinct patterns to look for. First of all, it's usually a brown to light brown. It'll darken when you put oil on it. It often has knots like this, and often you'll see holes like this. Another name for it is white walnut, and it is a hardwood. Hardwood being defined as any tree that has leaves and loses them in the winter. And then next to it we have some butternut, also a hardwood. And this is very typical, very a greenish hue to it. Also a hardwood, but both of these are softer hardwoods. So they're quite a bit softer. I can even dent it with my fingernail, kind of like a pine, not quite as easy. Not very easy at all, really, but you can dent it. If you hit it with a hammer, you're going to dent it pretty good and pretty easy. So in both cases, they're pretty long, so I should easily get I'm thinking I'll split them in half, because remember, I'm doubling it up, so I'm going to get pretty wide. So in this case, I'm still going to get like 2.5 inches on each strip, maybe 2 inches here. Now this one bows. You can see the butternut has a bow in it. Can you see that? Maybe you can't see that in the video because of the way it does where that knot is. But the good thing is if I cut it here and then take my straight, I can get nice straight pieces off. This one's straight to start with, so I'm just going to rip it as is. So I'm first going to rip this down, rip this one down, make sure I'm well over my 18 inches on at least two of them and 24. So I'm thinking I need like an extra 6 inches on each edge, because I'm going to be slanting them where they go together. And we'll talk about that later too. So there's this will make one frame. That's my goal right now. Butternut, or also called white walnut, and cucumber. Oh, another interesting thing about white walnut, most of the time maple syrup is made out of maples. But according to my reading, this is one tree that you can tap and produce a syrup out of. I never tried it, but sounds like something cool I should try. You'd have to have quite a few butternut and be patient in making syrup, because it typically takes gallons and gallons of it to make a quart. I can't remember if it's 50 to 1 or 40 to 1, depending on how sweet the sap is. Okay, let's get back to it. White walnut and cucumber frame.